What's up, guys? It's your boy Vic. Why is black culture keeping you poor? Or black culture is keeping you poor. Now, I made this video before, and there were some valid comments that I read, and I was like, yo, that's actually pretty valid. It's not necessarily black culture that keeps you poor, because there's so many people in poverty or that stay poor, and they're not just black. They're white, they're Indian, they're Chinese, they're Asian, they're whatever race, right? But there are certain characteristics that you need to be aware of that somewhat are popular in the black culture, right? And some of those things I want to point out is, the first thing is, you should encourage education at all times. You should encourage people to get smarter, to read books, to get more educated on any topic, or just get more educated in general, right? In certain cultures, maybe all cultures, I know definitely in black culture, you get made fun of because you're smart. You get made fun of because you get A's, or you're called a nerd if you do well in school, right? And I don't like that. I mean, I wasn't even good in school. I wasn't even a nerd in school. But like, why would you make fun of someone who's trying to learn? I never did that. Like, oh, you got straight A's. Oh, you talk proper. Like, you have vernacular. You're able to express yourself. It's so weird, bro. But it's not only black culture. This is in every culture. So we can also say that, you always want to be inviting to education. You always want to be reading, you always want to be learning, and you want to encourage that around you, because you want people around you that are always learning, always trying to better themselves, right? But at least I grew up in a black culture, and some of that stuff is not encouraged, especially as a young age, right? Another thing is, like, who your significant other is, bro. You got to be smart about who your significant other is. A lot of women in our black culture sometimes, and there's probably other cultures, and there's probably a reason behind this deeper than just culture, but certain women like to go for like dudes that just got out of jail, right? Criminals, right? And nothing against criminals, because some people go and they just had no choice. I used to live with a guy who went to jail for like 15 years. My homie though, that's my boy. Like, I love that man to death. He went away for 15 years, and I know him well. Like, I can trust him. I know he's a good dude. But like, if you have a daughter, I would not recommend my daughter to marry anyone that just came out of prison. I'm pretty sure he would say the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Unless he getting his life together, unless he's doing something right. And so we got to be a better judge of character. Now, I'm not saying all people that get out of jail or get out of prison are bad people, because some of them just been bad circumstances. But you need to start looking at, like, okay, if my life is going to turn out a certain way, there's certain kind of people I need to bring in. And women and men need to evaluate the character that they choose to the character of the person that they choose to spend their life with. And so what you find a lot of times in black culture is women going for the ex-convict, got 3 baby mamas, and you about to be his 4th. That don't make sense. That don't make sense, right? I'm gonna keep it 100. And I see that in black culture, but it's in other cultures too. It's not just in black culture. That's something that I wanna make clear. And then lastly, I think I've covered this a little bit, just being able to speak, right? Speaking properly, speaking with vernacular, speaking with a wide range in your vocabulary, being able to clearly and decisively convey a message to someone else. Poor people look at that and say, oh, you think you smart, or, oh, look at this smart aleck. You can find that in white culture, you can find that in Asian culture, you can find that in any culture. And those people are usually poor. If you can't convey your thoughts, if you can't convey how you feel, if you can't be persuasive, it's gonna be a tough life for you, man. It's gonna be a tough life for you. I talk about the 4 levels of value. The people who can't speak are on the lowest level of value because they can't communicate what they want. That's why they have to implement. They're the workers. Nothing wrong with being a worker. You can be a highly paid worker. But if you want more leverage in your life, you have to start moving up. You have to start moving up the value ladder. So from worker, you go to management. But management, you got to communicate and you got to be empathetic to the people around you. That's a skill. It's an intangible skill, but it's a skill nonetheless. Then you move up to communication, which is the third level or the second level of value, second highest. That's sales, that's communication, that's acting, that's singing, that's public speaking. The president is a communicator, commander-in-chief. He commands, communicate, command. And then you got the imagination level. You got, Bill Gates, you got Mark Zuckerberg, those guys who imagine things and bring them to life, right? But they're able to communicate what they have in their mind, all right? So you gotta learn how to communicate and you gotta learn how to imaginate and communicate that imagination so people can manage what you're trying to create and implement what you're trying to create. But implementation is the lowest level of value, where imagination is the highest. Communication is right next to imagination. And that brings me to, if you want to learn how to communicate and communicate for a living, be able to talk like this for a living, I want you to add an appointment and a consultation where you can actually learn how to communicate for a living in tech sales. Okay? You'll be able to stay in a cool apartment like this in Colombia. You'll be able to travel the world. You'll be able to do whatever you want. You have just more time to yourself. You don't have to commute back and forth to work. And you communicate for a living. The second highest level of value. And eventually you save your money or you do what you need to do and you can be a imaginator and get paid off your imagination. But you got to start somewhere. So you're probably at implementation level. You might be at management level, but you need to get to the communication level. I think tech sales is the best way to learn how to communicate. I've learned how to communicate through sales. You can learn how to communicate through sales. If you want to learn how to be able to travel the world, live online on your laptop, and make a living from that, click and add an appointment and we can talk about how we can help you do that. It's your boy Vic. We're back with another video. Make sure you click like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.